Service member is now out of Afghanistan. I can say that with 100% certainty.
But what about the Americans and Afghan allies left behind?
It's incredibly disheartening. I have family that's still in Afghanistan.
We did not get everybody out that we wanted to get out.
No one has any cell phone service or anything, so it's a waiting game.
As what's left of Ida pushes east, Colorado crews are ready to lend a hand to hurricane victims.
Plus, a new wildfire burning in northern Colorado. America entered its longest war nearly 20 years ago in 2001, and that war is now over. Thank you for joining us at 5. I'm Jacqueline Allen.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. As of today, all American troops are out of Afghanistan, meeting the president's deadline to withdraw from that country. So here's a look at everything we know at this hour. The last C-17 left the Kabul airport about 1:30 our time. No American civilians were on that flight.
Now, around 250 U.S. citizens are still in Afghanistan and want to get out of that country. The Pentagon says that will fall under the diplomatic phase, which will include negotiations to get all remaining Americans out and Afghans who want to flee.
I've gotten everybody out that we wanted to get out, and there still would have been people who would have been disappointed with that. It's a tough situation, but I want to emphasize again that simply because we have left, that doesn't mean the opportunities for both Americans that are in Afghanistan that want to leave and Afghans who want to leave, they will not be denied that opportunity. I think our Department of State is going to work that very hard in the days and weeks ahead.
In all, roughly 6,000 Americans and more than 73,000 Afghans and other foreign nationals have been evacuated by the U.S. military since mid-August. The Pentagon says at least 2,000 hardcore ISIS fighters are still in Afghanistan. Some families here in Colorado are still waiting for loved ones to come back from Afghanistan.
Some fear it's too late. Denver7's Ivan Rodriguez spoke to a Denver woman who is still looking for a way to get her family out.
The effort to evacuate U.S. citizens and Afghans is now over.
As of today, more than 122,000, including 5,400 Americans, have been evacuated from Afghanistan.
But for Nadima Safi, concern and fear are sinking in as her family remains stuck in Kabul.
My mom's entire side of the family is there, and I feel like everyone was left abandoned. And they were given false promises. I fear for my family, my grandma, my cousins, my aunt, my uncles.
So far, she's tried everything in her power to at least get her grandmother and aunt out of the country.
I filled out a humanitarian parole application, which is what I would like for my family there because it is immediate. But because I wasn't being told anything back from there, I went ahead and applied for their visa as well.
All of it in order to get her family out safely and be able to fulfill a promise.
And I remember I had promised my grandpa that I would see him. He was lying on his deathbed, and I said I would fly out to you. And now I keep telling my grandma too, I promise we'll see each other. So I don't want to break that promise to her because I feel like I definitely broke it to my grandpa.
For Safi's family, it's not ideal to leave their homeland, but if it means finding a better life, then it's what they'll have to do.
If my parents didn't flee when they did, who knows what my future would have been like, or my parents themselves.
The days and weeks ahead for her family will be filled with potential dangers. Many Afghans and special immigrant visa holders have been left behind in a country that's completely changed almost overnight.
I'm nervous. I don't want to wait a year. We don't have that time left. And I want to be able to see my family. I haven't seen them in 21 years. I think I deserve a shot to see them, and they deserve a shot at a safe life.
Ivan Rodriguez, Denver7.
But today, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said the president is expected to speak about America's exit from Afghanistan, quote, in the coming days. Now, the commander of the U.S. Central Command, General Frank McKenzie, reminded Americans today this 20-year war was not a cheap mission. Those were his words. And looking in depth tonight, over these last 20 years, the U.S. lost 2,461 service members in Afghanistan, and that does include the 13 killed last week. Just over 47,000 Afghan civilians were killed, more than 400 aid workers and 72 journalists. And the estimated monetary cost to the U.S., more than $2 trillion. Well, the International Rescue Committee is helping Afghan families here now in the U.S. And to help those here in Denver, they're specifically looking for donations of household items, furniture, bedding, cleaning supplies, kitchen items, and then cold weather clothes as well. And we have a link how you can donate right now on thedenverchannel.com.
Assessing the damage left behind in the 24 hours since Ida made landfall in Louisiana as a Category 4 hurricane. More than 1 million people in the state are still without power tonight. Those outages could last weeks. And as of tonight, one person has been confirmed dead. Thousands of homes have been damaged.
We had to deploy boats at 4 o'clock this morning and do water rescues. We took about 15 people off the roofs of their homes.
A lot of people had hunkered down in the houses since last night, so they're just getting pulled out of the houses today.
Ida has now been downgraded to a tropical depression and is pushing east. Winds are still an issue, though, as well as flash flooding.
Meteorologist Mike Nelson joins us now. Mike, this system still has the potential to cause some trouble.
Oh, we could be looking at anywhere from 2 to 20 inches of rain across the southeastern part of the country as the storm continues to push on toward the north and east. This is the last 24 hours of Ida's path. Now, the skies have mostly cleared across Louisiana at the moment as the storm is now located as a low-pressure area north of Jackson, Mississippi. It will continue to weaken, but it will contain copious amounts of rain over the next 48 hours. Look at the rainfall map from northern Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, across Tennessee, where they just last week had catastrophic flooding, not related to a tropical storm, and eventually all the way to Pennsylvania. We could be looking at some areas seeing over 20 inches of rain, and that's in rough country in the Appalachians. So it's a long ways from being a story that is over. Back here in Colorado, we have hot, dry, hazy conditions right now. We could use some rain, and there's some coming up in the extended forecast, especially for the mountains by the middle part of the week.
All right, thank you, Mike. Well, Coloradans are answering the call to help on the Gulf Coast. 45 members of Colorado Task Force 1 arrived in Louisiana yesterday. They're helping with rescues right now in New Orleans. Also, several volunteers from the Red Cross are there to provide shelter and food, emotional support, health services, and recovery resources. And the Red Cross is still in need of volunteers, and they're always accepting donations. And we have a link to that as well on thedenverchannel.com.
The entire city of South Lake Tahoe, California is now being told to evacuate, forcing thousands to flee from a massive wildfire. The Caldor fire grew more than 20,000 acres within the last 24 hours. This fire went from 19% containment to just 13% overnight. It's burned more than 168,000 acres, destroyed more than 650 buildings, and damaged hundreds of others, including the Sierra at Tahoe ski resort.
And here in Colorado, pre-evacuation orders are now in effect because of the Grand County wildfire. Now, this one's called the Black Mountain Fire. It started yesterday. It's grown to about 170 acres on National Forest land, and it's just about 2 miles away from the East Troublesome fire burn scar. That fire burned nearly 200,000 acres last year and damaged or destroyed hundreds of homes. Denver7's Liz Gilardi is in Grand County. Liz, look at all that smoke behind you. It's incredible already.
Well, Shannon, you can see that smoke behind me, and that's why residents here in Grand County are on edge. The East Troublesome fire is still very fresh in their minds, and as you can see, the Black Mountain fire is still burning. It continued to grow today. The Grand County Sheriff tells me the fire was estimated at 170 acres as of 2 o'clock this afternoon, and it's between 2 and 3 miles from the nearest structure. 2 zones remain on pre-evacuation notice, with several ranches and cabins in those areas. And the fire is burning close to that East Troublesome fire burn scar. And right now, from where we're standing, we can actually see part of that burn scar far off in the distance. The sheriff says if winds work in their favor and push the fire into the burn scar, that would actually be helpful for their firefighting efforts. The East Troublesome fire, not even 1 year ago, was devastating for this community, and residents here in Grand County are understandably worried.
But otherwise, it's just a constant reminder up here that we live in wildfire country. That fire last year was extremely devastating. A lot of people up here in Grand County lost their homes. I have 3 employees that lost their homes in that fire, and we all really remember that fire. And so when this fire started, our community is watching it, and really the country is watching it as well.
Everyone really remembers that fire, and the Forest Service has officially taken command of this fire. They're bringing in additional resources, and today we saw firefighting efforts on the ground and in the air. And coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll tell you about lessons learned and changes that have been made since the East Troublesome fire. Reporting live tonight in Grand County, I'm Liz Gilardi.
And right now, we are monitoring several meetings related to COVID-19, mask mandates, and vaccine requirements. CDPHE is currently meeting to talk about requiring COVID-19 vaccinations for all state healthcare workers who deal with high-risk patients. And Tri-County Health is holding a special board meeting right now to reconsider the opt-out feature of its mask mandate. Adams and Douglas County commissioners have already opted out, but most school districts are still choosing to opt into the order.
And the U.S. Department of Education will open a civil rights investigation into 5 states that have banned mask mandates in schools. They are Iowa, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Utah. The Education Department says those mask bans could discriminate against students with disabilities who may be at higher risk of getting sick from COVID. Now, Florida and Texas are not included in this investigation because their bans are not being enforced.